Tunde, that's my man right there. You see, Tunde is not just any kid. He's the heartbeat of his community, 8 years old, all heart, and always smiling. His smile could light up the darkest alleyways of Lagos. He lived in Lagos, a city that never sleeps. The hustle and bustle of the streets were his playground. Tunde knew everyone, from Mama Ada selling plantains to Baba Kunle fixing bikes. He helped everyone too. Whether it was carrying heavy loads or running quick errands, Tunde was always there. Needed someone to deliver a message? Tunde was on it. Rain or shine, he was the go-to guy for all sorts of tasks. Old Mrs. Okoye needed her groceries carried, Tunde to the rescue. He had a knack for making everyone feel special and cared for. This kid was like a tiny superhero, but instead of a cape, he had a mischievous grin. His energy was infectious and his spirit unbreakable. And you know what? Everyone loved Tunde right back. He was the glue that held the community together. He brought sunshine wherever he went. His laughter was like music, making everyone's day a little brighter. He was like a walking, talking ray of joy, spreading good vibes like confetti. His presence was a gift to everyone around him. But hold up, this story ain't just about Tunde. There's another character who adds a twist to his tale. It's about his partner in crime, a goat named Bisi. Bisi was more than just a pet. She was Tunde's sidekick in all his adventures. And let me tell you, Bisi was something else. This goat had a personality as big as Lagos itself, always getting into some kind of mischief. Bisi wasn't your average goat. Nope, this one had personality, spunk, and a knack for trouble that would make a hurricane jealous. She was Tunde's best friend, his confidant, his partner in crime. With her white fur speckled with black patches, Bisi looked like she was ready for a cowprint fashion show. Her big brown eyes held a mischievous glint, always plotting the next adventure. She'd prance around like she owned the place, her little bell jingling with every mischievous step. Bisi loved Tunde with all her goat heart. She'd follow him everywhere, her little hooves clicking on the pavement like a tiny drum beat. They were two peas in a pod, these two, always up to some kind of hilarious shenanigans. Now, Tunde had a routine. Every morning, bright and early, he'd take Bisi for a stroll. But not just any stroll, mind you. This stroll always ended at Mama Fola's akara stand. Mama Fola was a legend in their neighborhood. Her akara, those deep-fried bean cakes, were crispy, golden brown, and so delicious they could make you want to slap your mama. Just kidding, Mama Fola. Mama Fola adored Tunde and had a soft spot for Bisi's antics. She'd let Bisi graze on some leftover cassava peels while Tunde helped her set up the stand. It was their little ritual, their way of starting the day with laughter and the smell of delicious akara. One fine morning, things took a turn. A hilarious, chaotic turn. The sun was just beginning to rise, casting a golden hue over the bustling streets of Lagos. The market was already alive with activity, vendors setting up their stalls and the air filled with the sounds of chatter and the occasional honk of a car horn. Tunde, being the helpful soul he was, got caught up assisting Mama Fola with a mountain of onions. He was always eager to lend a hand, especially to the elders in the community. Mama Fola, with her warm smile and hearty laugh, was a beloved figure in the market. He tied Bisi's rope to a nearby palm tree, thinking she was secure. Bisi, the mischievous goat, had a reputation for being a bit of a troublemaker, but Tunde was confident that she would stay put this time. Oh boy, was he wrong. Bisi had other plans. She was not one to be easily restrained, especially when there was an adventure to be had. See, Bisi smelled something amazing, something irresistible. Her nostrils flared as she caught a whiff of the tantalizing scents wafting through the air. It was coming from the direction of the market, a symphony of scents that tickled her goat senses. Freshly baked bread, ripe mangoes, and something else. Something that promised excitement and adventure. Something that smelled like pure, unadulterated mischief. Bisi's eyes sparkled with excitement as she imagined the possibilities. With a determined tug, Bisi snapped the loosely tied rope. She was free and nothing was going to stop her now. She gave Tunde a mischievous side-eye like, "See you later, alligator." It was as if she was daring him to try and catch her. And with the grace of a runaway lawnmower, she bolted towards the market, her hooves clattering against the pavement, her bell clanging like a warning siren, alerting everyone to her presence. People turned their heads, surprised to see a goat on the loose. Tunde, oblivious, continued helping Mama Fola, unaware of the hilarious chaos about to unfold. Little did he know, Beezy was about to turn the market upside down. Section 5. BC's Market Mayhem, a comedy of errors. BC hit the market like a furry tornado. It was pure pandemonium. She weaved through the crowded stalls, sending vendors and shoppers scattering like startled pigeons. Mangoes rolled, chickens squawked, and fabric unraveled in her wake. A group of women selling yams let out shrieks that would scare a banshee, clutching their wrappers as BC darted between their legs. A mountain of oranges tumbled, sending a group of children into fits of laughter as they chased after the rolling fruit. The air filled with a chorus of shouts, laughter, and the indignant bleating of a very confused goat. BC, oblivious to the commotion, continued her joyous rampage, her tail wagging with every near miss, her bell announcing her mischievous presence. Section 6. Laughter, shouts, and a pinch of chaos. The market was in an uproar. People pointed at BC, some with annoyance, but most with amusement. The sight of a goat weaving through the market, creating a symphony of chaos, was too hilarious to resist. "Catch that goat!" someone yelled, but their heart wasn't really in it. It was hard to be angry when you were struggling to catch your breath from laughing. Even the angriest vendor couldn't help but crack a smile. BC, in her own way, had united the market in a shared moment of absurdity. It was a break from the ordinary, a reminder that sometimes life throws you a curveball, or in this case, a runaway goat. Section 7. Tunde learns a valuable lesson. Back at Mama Fola's stand, Tunde finally noticed BC's absence. His heart dropped to his stomach. He frantically searched the area, Mama Fola's words ringing in his ears. "That goat's gonna be the death of me, I tell ya. But she's just as funny as can be." He finally found BC in the middle of the market, surrounded by a crowd of laughing people. Relief washed over him, followed quickly by a wave of guilt. He realized then that his carelessness had caused this chaos. As he apologized profusely to the vendors, helping them pick up their wares, he learned a valuable lesson. A lesson about responsibility, about the consequences of his actions, and about the unpredictable nature of goats, especially ones named Bissy. Section 8. BC, the market celebrity. News of BC's market escapade spread faster than gossip in a hair salon. The market was abuzz with chatter, each person adding their own twist to the tale. She became a local legend, her story embellished with each retelling. Some said she was as clever as a fox. Others claimed she had the heart of a lion. Some swore she tipped over a table laden with fish, causing a commotion that had everyone in stitches. Others insisted that she drank from a vendor's gourd of palm wine, leaving the vendor both amused and exasperated. Beezy, none the wiser, reveled in the attention. She pranced around the market, enjoying the adoration and the occasional treat from a friendly vendor. She became the unofficial mascot of the market, a symbol of the community's spirit and resilience. Tolerated and even welcomed despite her mischievous streak, Beezy brought a sense of joy and camaraderie to the market. Vendors kept a watchful eye on their wares, always on the lookout for Beezy's next adventure. But their scolding was half-hearted, often accompanied by a chuckle. They couldn't help but be charmed by her antics. And Tunde? Well, he learned his lesson. He realized that Beezy's adventurous spirit needed to be reined in, but not stifled. He never again tied Beezy's rope loosely, ensuring she couldn't wander off on her own. And he always kept a watchful eye on his adventurous goat, ready to step in if she got too carried away. He became known as Beezy's Boy, a title that came with its own set of responsibilities and a fair share of teasing from the vendors. It was a title he wore with a mixture of pride and exasperation, knowing that Beezy's escapades had made them both market celebrities. Section 9, A Day to Remember, Lessons Learned and Laughter Shared. That day at the market became a story they'd tell for years to come. A story about a mischievous goat, a bewildered boy, and a community brought together by laughter and shared chaos. Bisi, the runaway goat, became a legend, a reminder that sometimes a little bit of chaos can be a good thing. And Tunde? He learned that responsibility and a watchful eye were the best companions for a mischievous goat, especially one as unpredictable and hilarious as Bisi. And so, life in the bustling Lagos neighborhood continued, filled with sunshine, laughter, and the occasional mischievous bleating of a certain celebrity goat named Bisi.